Okay.
Very good.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning in the afternoon. Good morning, Tim.
Hello.
Hello, Angie.
Hello, Rosa. We are on.
Hi, Angie.
Hello, Tim.
So, Tim,
Yeah.
we were just talking about this stunning party yesterday night with your brother, and you
Well-
just said you were dressed like a hippie.
Yeah. I thought you would like it if I kept the costume on and the wig.
Yeah.
So I had a wig,
Totally.
a wig, a headband, and big round glasses.
Oh, I have an idea. You quickly go to change the clothes. Oh, okay, good. Okay.
It was good. It was good fun.
I believe you. Cool, very cool.
So
I would say,
as I just told you, I'm just on I think I'm on my fourth or fifth coffee.
oh, okay.
Slow day.
I wouldn't, the system here wouldn't survive a fifth or a third or fourth coffee.
No.
I think it's gonna explode like boom.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I do. I'm a bit addicted, I think.
Yeah, me too, but who cares?
No, I don't care. No.
So this is a really funny guy here. I just love this humor and this directness, Tim. So I suggest that we are going to talk about justice, which is and is not, or something like this. Totally crazy, totally unknown. I have no idea, but here is the impulse to let you talk about this, Tim. So feel free to now make a stunning introduction, no matter how long.
No pressure.
No matter how long.
Okay.
About this stunning simplicity of just this. Here we go. The stage is yours.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
A stunning introduction. That's the worst. That's the worst. It's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh.
A stunning, no pressure at all. Just a stunning introduction. Not a great introduction. No, stunning.
Okay, let's go to a simple, very easygoing kind of discussion about just this. So let's call it about the boom.
Well, you're the boom. I'm not the boom. I'm more the. You're the boom, Rosa.
What is the boom?
Whatever
what is it?
Well, you tell me. That's
okay. The boom is a kind of explosion here,
right.
Kind of energetic explosion, which it's totally unknown. I cannot tell what it is, but it's kind of as if it's booming the whole time. Boom, 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 even bang.
See, I do like that. I love it when you do it. It's just wonderful. But here, I mean, I don't want to burst your boom bubble.
Oh, please feel free to burst my boom bubble.
I'm really loath to burst your boom, but I kind of want to as well. There you go.
Come on, let's do it. Come on,
because Because the boom doesn't make any noise, does it?
Yeah, it's quite silent.
Well, there. I don't think it can be quite silent. It's
You mean my boom or the boom?
well, like, you can only say they're one and the same, Rosa. There is not your boom and then other people's boom. But I don't. But
Of
I.
course,
But I
there's
don't.
my boom.
Yeah, I'm letting you have your boom. But what I'm saying is here. So if I talk about when I talk about this, I don't think I've ever said boom in my life. I don't think so. I might have done, and I'm not saying I couldn't. I could, but it's not a boom.
What is it? What is it?
It's the opposite. You could say, because of course it is boom. It's boom for you. Here it's so empty. So it's an explosion. Yeah, I like when you say explosion. That sort of resonates a bit more, but it's an explosion that doesn't make any noise.
All right.
It doesn't even move. So an explosion that doesn't make any noise and doesn't move
Wow.
isn't really an explosion. It's
It's a non-explosion.
of course it is. It's an explosion and a non-explosion. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, of course it is.
Look at it.
This the thing that's really so too there is only movement. So that you could say there's only the explosion, but the explosion isn't moving or exploding.
Wow.
And you could say there's only the boom, the sound. Boom is but it's soundless. It's a silent booming.
Wow. I got it.
I haven't got that. Now it sounds pretentious, but it's the only reason I'm saying all of that is because you say boom and I love it. And then I go, where's the boom? Where's the boom? Where's the boom? And of course you can't find, I mean, this is a dilemma in ever speaking about this. It can only sound as though you've found something. It
Okay.
can only sound as if you've found it. There is no way around it. So, I mean, you could say, I've been trying to find a way around it. How do you speak about this without speaking about this?
Yeah.
Well, there's no way.
There is no way.
So then there's freedom just to speak about it, knowing full well, without any shadow of a doubt, that you can't speak of this accurately. You can't describe it. You can't explain it. You can't understand it.
Yeah.
It isn't an it. So, saying it's an explosion. Oh, it sounds like, well, I don't see the explosion. Someone will say, I don't feel the explosion.
Yeah.
What is he talking about? Well, it's not that you found the explosion. In your experience, or as it appears to the human being known as Rosa, it's boom. Now,
Even
it's
bam.
not that boom is wrong. And this is maybe the biggest misconception of this of all, is that every human being could have the same experience of this.
Impossible.
The absolute experience. Well, of course not.
Stop. The absolute experience.
Mm-hmm.
Is it an experience?
No.
No.
No, but I will say, boom sounds like one.
Who cares?
No, exactly. That's exactly it. Who does fucking care? Now, it's very obvious. Rosa doesn't care. She doesn't give a shit. And
I don't give a shit, man.
No, it's wonderful. No, that's brilliant. But what I mean is, anyone else listening, it's just the same when I speak. I can't have any expectation that they're going to have the faintest fucking clue of what I'm talking about.
Totally. My dear, it's so obvious. When you are speaking, I would just talk very normally, when you are speaking about this, which it's not possible to speak about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's really seen that you have no fucking clue about it. There is not knowing what is. It's really like this. So I totally disagree. I really disagree when you say that there is a human being which knows what he is talking about. No, you don't know. You fucking don't know what you're talking about. And I just love it.
No, it's very obvious. Or you could say that that's the only thing that becomes obvious, that you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, what you're doing, what you're feeling. And then of course, there can be a story appear after always after, by the way. Any explanation, description is always, it's not what's happening. The description of what's happening is never what's happening. It's always after what's happened.
Yeah, it's a description.
And then, of course, then there's a description happening. That's what's happening.
Yeah. So like speaking, watching, sitting, breathing, smiling, this is the description.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's not how most people would describe it. They would say there's two selves speaking to each other.
Okay.
Nearly every human being wouldn't describe, the whole non-dual way of describing. So there's just sitting, there's just smiling. By the way, that's just another story.
Yeah.
It's no different. Whether a human being say, I'm talking to you, or there's just sitting, just.
Yeah.
It's really big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes no difference.
It makes no difference. Totally.
No, just two different types of story. It's lovely when everything is just storytelling.
But everything is storytelling, right?
In the telling.
In the telling.
But only in the telling.
In the telling. And not in the telling?
No, but there isn't anything else. I mean, if you say what, so by in the telling, I mean, because we say storytelling, but of course, most of the storytelling is thought.
Yeah.
I mean, most human beings spend most of their time what they would call talking to themselves.
Yep.
That's funny. We don't really, and yet most selves don't speak about that much. They just take that as a given, and that most of my life, what I've called my life, is thoughts speaking to other thoughts.
Yeah.
Having conversations. I mean, it's hilarious, really. We don't speak about this at all.
Yeah.
Often arguing. Thoughts arguing with other thoughts.
With other thoughts. Thoughts arguing with.
Yeah.
Totally.
You make a mistake. Self makes a mistake and then says, well, I spent most, I messed up, and I spent most of yesterday giving myself a good talking to. I had a great conversation with myself, and I think I've got it sorted. And they're serious conversations. Self believes that.
Yeah, the self is simply kind of trapped in just this. There is not this, what it's talked here about, it's just in a way seen that it's, how would you describe this? This being trapped in the story.
Now, I don't think, because for me, the story is not the problem. One of the things I think there's a lot of misunderstanding in non-duality is that there's something wrong with the story. Well, there is only the story. You take the story away, then there's nothing.
Okay.
Nothing you could say.
Yeah.
Nothing you could think.
Yeah.
And if it, so, what would there be without thought?
Yeah.
Without words, without description? What would there be? Well, there would be just this, but what would there be about this? Nothing.
But isn't this the story? Nothing appearing as this.
Oh, that's the story. Anything you say, anything we say, any thought, anything in language is objectification. It's just it's you've made relationships. So stories are relationships in time and space between objects. And of
Yeah.
course, there aren't objects and there isn't any time or space. So of course, every story is a fairy tale.
Okay.
And isn't that beautiful? Who
Yeah.
doesn't love
Totally.
a
I'm
fairy?
totally in love with those fairy tales and stories and
And me.
everything.
I still love telling my kids stories, you know, and I like stories. When the stories aren't about me, I'm not in the story. Stories are liberated to be what they are. They're just the beautiful expression of being human. They just don't mean anything. And the problem with stories usually is, what do they mean? What do they
To me.
mean?
What do they mean to me?
Yeah, and you know, me's very grandiose. Self is very good. What do they mean for me, you know, my family, my people, my country, the planet, for humanity, for, you know,
Yeah.
me gets hugely
Yeah.
grandiose about all of this and
Yeah.
the significance and meaning. Well, when everything essentially, absolutely is meaningless, it's
Meaningless.
it's wonderful.
It's wonderful. It's
One
fucking free.
wonderfully free. Just free from, now that doesn't mean that meaning doesn't appear, but it's that meaning doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people think, well, it's all right for you. You don't ever think anything means anything. And I went, well, no, meaning appears just the same as everything else. Of course it does. I just not, when it's not my meaning, it doesn't matter. Because
Yeah.
what do people argue about? Where's all conflict? All conflict is on my beliefs, my ideas are the right ones, especially religious and spiritual ideas,
Yeah.
ideological ideas. They're
Yeah.
they are the things that self gets most attached to.
Yeah.
And when I say attached to, self is like, Tony Parsons always used to say that it's like a sticky bun, like a cake covered in toffee.
Yeah.
And so everything that's self, it just sticks to it,
Yeah.
and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And
Cool.
it's a lovely simple analogy, but self is greedy, you know, can't get enough because the sense of me is always in lack.
So let's put it into the seeking energy. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is the drive. The self
yeah.
is driven to get more, to become complete, because it
Mhm.
simply feels splitted, separated.
So the drive, the motivation, the seeking energy, if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
comes from the sense of not enough, incompletion.
Lack, the sense of lack,
Yeah,
which is totally normal.
yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've never met a human being who doesn't feel it.
Me too. Yeah, but there is just very naturally so a sense of lack appearing at when, in which age or whatsoever, who cares? And then it just plays completely ordinary, a very normal life. And yeah, and there is nothing wrong with this.
No,
And someone is going to seek outside, and I don't know, sex, drugs, rock and roll, money, whatsoever,
yeah,
or in this inwardly, okay, spiritual, like going inside and see what's going on here, which is the same in green, right? It's
yeah,
the
that
same drive, the same motivation. There is a lack,
always.
and this is not okay.
Well, self says it's not okay
Right. The lack is not, self says it's not okay.
because, okay, this is radical.
Yeah, come on.
There is only lack.
Yeah, I love it.
So the natural sense that there's something missing, you know, that there's a hole and
Yeah.
there's something missing right through the middle of myself.
Yeah.
So when I look for myself, I just don't see it. There's just this space. I don't find it. There's something lacking. There's something missing, something desperate. And I need to fill it. I need to fill it with anything. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit what it is I fill it with. I just need to feel a little bit less lack.
Yeah.
It's all lack.
It's all lack. What does
It's
it mean?
Space, emptiness.
Fucking freedom.
So the biggest joke of all is that for all seekers, that this is why this message isn't popular like a lot of messages are. It's not giving anything to fill the hole, to fill the space. It's saying there is only the space that you are afraid of. There is only, you know, the dark night of the soul. Typically, people talk about the void and the abyss and this darkness, you know, falling into nothing. Well, that's reality. The reality is nothing. Appearing is everything. So when everyone, and I really felt this intensely for years, this
For years?
fear, yeah, dreadful fear, terror.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't make light of when people are, you know, when seekers no longer, it's like they've seen the lack and they've seen the void and they've looked at it and then they try and turn away. But it seems like for some human beings, there comes a point where they can't turn away anymore. So the void can't be avoided.
All
That's
right.
nice in English.
Yeah, that's nice.
Avoided. You can't. There's no ability to run. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to run. That's really what I'm speaking about. So what happens? The end of seeking is the end of the ability of the human being, which it called itself, to hide and run from the obviousness, the undoubted emptiness that this is.
Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
then the most simple miracle, there is only one miracle, that nothing, the void, emptiness, is everything. The complete emptiness is completely full.
Wow.
I mean, is there anything more? I mean, that's the end. Because whatever miracles anyone else came up with after, if it's obvious that the fullness is the emptiness is the fullness, and there's nowhere to hide, there's nowhere to run, you can't turn, because no matter which direction you turn, there it is, there it isn't. There is no escape. So
No
it's not
escape.
like you turn away and you're turning away from it. No, you can turn away as much as you like. It will make no difference.
There it is.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Always.
It's booming the whole time. Boom,
It's
boom, boom, boom,
booming.
boom, boom, boom,
I
boom,
can't
boom.
hear it. I can't hear it. You hear it. I can't hear it.
Well, I think this is the perfect match here. The one can't hear it, the other is hearing it.
It's the sound.
Did you see? It's funny. I really liked it when I first heard you say boom. Well, and your infectious enthusiasm for this. It's wonderful. I loved it straight away. And then I thought, well, that's so in contrast to the way that I describe it. And of course, isn't it lovely that two opposites are the same?
Yeah, my love, but here is no fucking clue.
No, of course. Yeah, but you've got just as much. Your no fucking clue is not worse or better than my no fucking clue.
Yeah.
You know, in this, you can go round comparing who's got the least fucking clue. I have people say to me, comparing me with other speakers and go, yeah, but you don't really, you know, you don't speak about not knowing as clearly as it's like I don't not. I not know worse than other speakers not know. It's so funny. Everything's hilarious. Like you can have levels of not knowing. Well, you just don't. There aren't any levels in not knowing. There's just fucking not knowing.
Okay, I would say we just it's just obvious here that this is a perfect match. The booming and the not hearing of the booming.
Well, I mean, the title of my book, my first book, was This Deafening Silence. I mean, you can't get more opposite than an explosion.
Cool.
This,
Definitely.
but there we go. So in the title of the book is that paradox.
Which isn't.
Deafening. So it's like the biggest explosion you could possibly hear. Silent.
Silence. Love this.
Yeah.
Empty fullness.
Yes,
Empty
the same.
fullness.
Yeah,
this
I mean,
paradox.
The only way to really feel comfortable speaking about this is to always speak paradoxically.
Yeah, I think it's Emerson, Emmy. He just in his, you know him. He is just performing like crazy.
Yeah.
He's like DJing this non-dual stuff out, you know.
Yeah.
And he is like, and you know that the paradox isn't the paradox.
Well, if there's only paradox, then of course there isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just this. There is no this and this and this and this. It's just this.
No, I will say, I mean, the thing about paradox is it's just there is a complete comfort in paradox.
Okay. A comfort in it.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because there's no way of being right.
Okay.
So is it black or white? You know, that's what self always wants to know. Is it true or false?
Yeah.
Is it real? Is it real or unreal? Well,
it's real and unreal.
And which is it more? Is it more real than unreal? No, it's equally real and unreal.
So
and
this is here.
You could say it's real and unreal. So when I speak about this, say the most common phrase in non-duality, radical non-duality, is there's just what's happening.
Yeah.
Nearly every speaker says those words.
Yeah.
But then the seeker, the one hearing that, usually wants to know, so is what's happening really happening or not?
So they say what's apparently happening, seemingly happening.
Yeah. So, and then the get out for the speaker, the get out clause is it's apparently happening or it's seemingly happening. So does that mean it's really happening? No, it means it's not really happening. But then I think there's a little bit because it is really happening as well. There isn't, because if there is anything really happening, it can only be what appears to be happening, because there isn't anything else. So if real means anything as a word, what appears to be happening is the only reality. Completely.
Totally
real. Totally unreal.
As the deafening silence. This, it's
and the deafening silence is the same thing. So when you hear a sound, is the sound really happening? Yeah, it's really happening, but it's not really happening.
So what about calling this like a dream? I don't
ever tend to do that.
Why not?
Because it's just there's quite a few. I could talk about that quite a bit, but I tend to not call it a dream because you can awaken from a dream, can't you? That's the main reason. And
then I can think about my dream dream.
Yeah. Most people, when they use the word dream, they're referring to the opposite of being awake and being conscious, of being of waking life. So there's
Yeah.
two lives a human being has: a dream life and a waking life. But then in non-duality, in traditional, this they say the waking dream.
Yeah.
But I don't use it because it infers, the word dream just infers that there could be, you could waken from it, and there is no
Yeah.
awakening from
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
There'd have to be somewhere else,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
there'd have to be something else, wouldn't there?
Yes. Yes.
So
And
I don't. This doesn't feel like a dream.
but
Oh, I think
Tim disappeared. Yeah, because of the call. Yeah, yeah. Someone called him, but I think that he's going to appear again.
ja.
Ja, also der hat dieses Buch geschrieben, ne, hat er gesagt.
Sorry,
There,
I pressed the wrong button.
there is no wrong button, my dear. It's just the boom.
No, I did. I pressed the wrong button.
I have a question. What do you say? You say this is not a dream. What is this for you? Not a dream. What's
Hold on.
yeah?
I
Now
don't know
it's
what I'm
coming.
doing now.
For you, what is it for you? There is no me.
Yeah.
What? Why can't I hear you now?
Can you hear us, Tim?
No.
No? Well, it doesn't matter. We can hear you. No. Can you hear us, Tim?
I've done something wrong.
He's done something wrong, apparently. Tim, I have to say something in order you to check if you can hear me.
I can just hear you, but the volume's gone to virtually nothing. I don't know why.
Volume, maybe you can just it's the handy, right? The mobile phone. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can't hear you.
Well, this is the pure and unknown perfection
Yeah.
already.
This just shows how imperfect perfection can appear.
Yeah, and here we are again with this paradox.
Isn't it wonderful that you can never get it wrong, though?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
so
there you go.
liberating.
I mean,
it's so liberating for nothing.
I know, and everyone, you get, if you speak about this, there'll be a lot of selves will criticize you for saying this is an abdication of responsibility. It's just being irresponsible to say that no one can help what they do. You know, everyone, no choice, no free will.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, most selves absolutely hate that shit.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's such a threat.
I know.
And I understand it. That's why I don't speak to people unless they speak to me about it.
Yep.
Gone are the days. I mean, you've maybe made, both of you might have made the mistake of just talking randomly to your friends about this. And
Yep.
And losing friends.
But to be honest, my dear, no problem with this.
No, I'm not saying it's a problem.
Yeah.
But, you know, don't expect people to
take
it easily. No, it's not. It's not the easiest thing to hear.
Yeah, and this is I really forget about it because it's in a way so obvious. And for me, it's felt even as an empowerment thing for the person, you know, because this is the total liberation. But then the reaction shows the complete, you know, the complete Gegenteil. It's like, oh no, I don't want to hear this. Stop it, please.
No.
And yeah, I couldn't understand it at the beginning because I thought that this is so cool, you know,
It's
and
the
so
same with me. I made the same mistake many times.
but it's really not a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's perfect. And there is really
of course
no choice.
I don't mean the mistake. I just mean
yeah, of course.
I just mean that Well, there was one big mistake when I was at the pub and one of my friends got me by the throat.
Oh, really?
I thought that might be a mistake then, when he was going to choke me to death.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Don't go round saying you don't exist to drunk guys in a pub. Do not go around saying you don't exist. It's not good.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, this is cool. Tim, so that you're now again hearing us. I really would.
Do you know, I'm not hearing you. Something's happened, but I don't know what. I can just hear you.
You can just hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only
Tim,
just.
only just.
I don't know. Yeah, it's really quiet. I've got the volume turned up. I'm useless with technology. Shit. I'm an old man.
You're an old man. Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm an
So,
old man pretending not to be.
okay, you don't look like an old man, but this is just the label.
Yeah, of course. Well, if you ask, it is interesting with age, which we take for granted to be true, the age of every human being. And then you ask someone how they feel, and most people will say 17.
Yeah, yeah,
Nearly everyone.
totally,
Yeah.
totally,
Or
totally.
some will actually be really honest and say, about 7 or 8 years old, which is even more honest. I like that when people say that, honestly.
Yeah, totally.
You know, the facade of being a responsible adult and inside feeling like a child. It's
He's really,
very common. It's very common.
it's common, and here is really also not because this is here too, and I really don't have the feeling that I got adult. There was no point where I can say I'm an adult now, you
No,
know?
it never happened. Like everything else, that growing up that you were waiting for. You know, as a kid, you were always waiting until you're a grown up.
No,
Because
me
you,
not, me not.
oh, you weren't. I was. Nearly everyone was waiting to be grown up because it looked like the grown ups could do what they want. And then you got to
Okay,
be a grown up and you realized it was much fucking worse than being a child. It was like
totally.
the biggest trick. It's like the worst trick on children that you've always longed to be an adult. And then you got to be an adult and you go, oh shit, it was so much better being a child.
But you know, maybe because I was raised so free to just do what I want to do. And for me, it was okay to go to school, stuff like this. But there was never the sense that as a child, I'm not free, you know, or just as an adult, then I can
No,
perform freely. That's why
no.
there is, yeah, yeah.
I can remember, I mean, if I talk about my childhood, I was incredibly free as a child. Yeah. I just was bliss, really.
Bliss.
Yeah.
Or you just forgot about the shitty times. Come
No,
on.
and then I just remember, you know, the adolescence and how, although it's probably the most exciting time in a human being's life in the story is adolescence,
Okay.
particularly, you know, first sexual experiences, but just generally that all of that is just so exciting. And then but then it's where self becomes a burden, this identity, this
Yeah,
obsession that teenagers have, because they're
totally.
trying, every self is trying to work out, doesn't really matter so much as a child. I don't really have to have a concrete sense of self. But as an adolescent, it becomes like an imperative that this self becomes a really solid,
Yeah,
real.
absolutely.
As a child, there is a sense of self, but it just comes and goes. Half the time, children are completely free of
Yeah,
self,
yeah,
and then just it appears and it just comes and goes all the time.
yeah,
But then in adolescence, for most adolescents, is when it, hence, adolescents are obsessed with identity, aren't they? Who's
yeah.
my
There,
tribe? Which group do I belong to? You know,
yes, totally.
friendship groups become all
And
peer,
this is
all of
this is
that
the most
becomes,
important thing, actually. The most important, this identity, this finding
yeah,
which group, where do I belong, as you said. This is
yeah,
this the security. This is my protection, you know.
yeah,
And this goes on and on and on. I think
yeah,
when as you all guide there, the older you become, the easier it goes again, because it's seen in a way that, oh, it doesn't matter, you know?
Well, if only that were true, Rosa, I wouldn't be speaking about it if that was the case. But for nearly all old people, they become more identified, not less.
Okay, I thought it's I just
They
see.
do. I mean, you talk to a lot of old people and they get more and more entrenched in who they are.
Well, I apparently have, I luckily am not, maybe I just am surrounded only with such free, I don't know, freaky old people. I don't know what.
Oh, well, you're lucky. Yeah, you're lucky. I have to say, my mum, when towards the end of her life, she just got more and more free. Yeah, so it does happen.
My mom too.
But she did
Before
have to listen to me a lot. So
yeah, she was like, "Oh, Rosa, I love
I'm
it
not
being
I'm
with
not
you."
taking credit for it, but she was forced to listen because she had the Wi-Fi in her house. So I used to come and sit here and
No way,
force
you're
her to listen
joking.
to it.
You're joking. You're kidding.
True.
Oh, cool.
I'm still trying to work out why I can only just hear you.
So
I
you
don't know
can
what I'm doing.
you can hardly hear us, right?
You're like a whisper.
Like a whisper. Oh, I have to shout then. Oh no, better not.
No, it's fine.
You can read my lips, Tim.
Well, I'm going to go and play golf.
All right, my dear. So, thank you very much. Angie, do you want us to say something?
Thanks, Angie.
You don't understand us.
Yeah. Tim, thank you very much. It was very cool without hearing us at the end.
No, I can hear you just.
Okay, and yeah, thanks for the time and
Oh, it's
everything.
lovely. It's
It
lovely.
was
Thank you very
really
much.
fun. Yeah, and we wish you a wonderful golf play now.
Thank you.
Okay, and
Yeah, have a lovely rest of the day.
Tim, wait a sec. Is it okay to post your datas?
What do you want to post?
Your, I don't know, your social media links.
Sure, you can put yeah, and you can put my YouTube, put my website on.
Right. And I will, okay, I would just get in touch with you because of this, okay?
Sure.
Okay, my dear. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Enjoy.
it's been a pleasure.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.